When I first met Harold, he was 72. The kind of man you'd instantly respect. Hands like sandpaper from decades of honest work, plumbing, carpentry, fixing what no one else could. He built his home with his own hands, raised 3 children, stayed married for over 45 years. To everyone else, Harold was solid, dependable, unshakable. But when he sat across from me in my office that day, he wasn't the same man. His eyes were lowered, his voice barely above a whisper. He wasn't sick, not in the way most people think of illness. No fever, no injury, but something was missing, and he felt it every single morning when he woke up. He said to me, "Doc, I don't wake up like I used to. Not for years now. I thought it was just age, but lately, I feel like less of a man." What Harold was describing wasn't just physical, it was emotional. It was the quiet erosion of something men rarely speak about: vitality, confidence, and yes, intimacy. Many men over 60 know this feeling, but don't know there's a path back. And that's where Harold's journey truly began. I'm Dr. James Whitaker. For over 25 years, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s men, who've spent a lifetime being strong for everyone else. Husbands, fathers, veterans, tradesmen, and yet, somewhere along the way, they all ask me the same quiet question: why don't I feel like a man anymore in the morning? It's not about ego, it's not vanity, it's about identity. Morning strength, the kind every man wakes up with in his younger years, becomes a silent measure of masculinity. So when it fades, men feel like something deeper is missing. A connection to themselves. A sign they're still alive inside. When Harold asked me that question, I didn't just hear the words, I heard the weight behind them. The unspoken worry, the quiet frustration, the loneliness. Because here's the truth, most men don't hear from their doctors. This is common, it's natural, and most importantly, it's not final. There are ways to restore drive, improve circulation, boost dopamine, and most importantly, help a man reconnect with the part of himself he thought was gone for good. The silent shift after 60. After 60, a man's body begins to shift in quiet, powerful ways. We're told it's just aging. But there's more going on beneath the surface. Yes, testosterone begins to dip, that's common knowledge. But one of the most overlooked culprits behind loss of energy, drive, and morning function is dopamine. Dopamine is your brain's drive chemical. It's what gets you up in the morning with a sense of purpose. It's what fuels motivation, desire, and the spark that keeps a man feeling like himself. But as dopamine declines with age, many men begin to lose more than just energy. They lose momentum, focus, even emotional connection, and slowly, morning vitality fades too. Not because you don't care anymore, but because the internal spark has dimmed. And here's the thing, all three are connected. Testosterone fuels your body. Circulation delivers that fuel where it needs to go. But dopamine makes you want to show up. So when a man stops waking up with strength or desire, it's not weakness. It's biology, it's chemistry, and it happens to millions of good men who think they're alone in it. But you're not alone. And more importantly, this change doesn't have to be permanent. Because the moment we begin restoring what time has taken, we start rewriting the story. What changed for Harold? When Harold came to me, he wasn't looking for a miracle. He wasn't even asking for much. He just wanted to feel like himself again. A man who could start his day with energy, clarity, and strength. The kind of strength every man knows, but few talk about losing. Harold didn't want a prescription. He didn't want to chase quick fixes or risk side effects. He wanted to work with his body, not against it. So we started with what I call the core three. 3 simple, natural changes that helped restore his body's chemistry, improve blood flow, and reignite his internal spark. Change number 1. Evening circulation tea, ginger, garlic, and lemon. The first step was supporting circulation, the delivery system for all male vitality. If blood isn't moving freely, strength doesn't return. So I gave Harold a natural tonic, a warm tea made with 3 powerful ingredients: fresh ginger, raw garlic, and lemon juice. Ginger stimulates blood vessels and reduces inflammation. Garlic contains allicin, which relaxes arteries and supports healthy blood flow. Lemon helps cleanse the blood and improve absorption of nutrients. He drank it every evening, about 90 minutes before bed. Within the first week, he told me, "Doc, my legs don't feel as heavy when I wake up." That was our first win. Change number 2. Dopamine activation, morning walks. The second change was focused on brain chemistry. Dopamine, remember, is what gives you drive, the signal to rise, take action, feel interested in life again. But dopamine doesn't magically return on its own. You have to invite it. So I encouraged Harold to start every day with a simple 10-minute walk outside, in the morning light. No headphones, no distractions, just fresh air, sunshine, and forward motion. Why does this matter? Sunlight triggers dopamine release through retinal stimulation. Walking activates rhythmic movement, increasing circulation and signaling the brain to wake up. Quiet moments allow emotional clarity and reduce cortisol, the stress hormone that competes with dopamine. After 2 weeks, Harold said, "It's strange. I feel like my mornings have a rhythm again. I'm actually looking forward to waking up." That was win number 2. Change number 3. Magnesium plus L-tyrosine before bed. The third step was rebuilding dopamine overnight and helping his nervous system recharge. For that, I turned to 2 powerful but gentle nutrients, magnesium and L-tyrosine. Magnesium glycinate, taken before bed, relaxes the blood vessels, supports deep sleep, and improves nerve function in sensitive areas. L-tyrosine is an amino acid and precursor to dopamine. It helps the brain replenish its natural stores overnight. I explained to Harold that, just like a car battery, your brain's chemistry needs time and the right building blocks to recharge. These 2 gave him just that. After 3 weeks, Harold told me something that stuck with me. He said, "Doc, I didn't even realize I stopped waking up with those feelings until they came back. It's like something inside me turned on again. The body wants to come back." That's the beauty of the male body. Even after 60, 70, or 80, it wants to come back. It wants to restore itself, but it needs the right message, the right rhythm, and the right care. For Harold, it wasn't about becoming 25 again. It was about becoming fully himself today, as he is, right now. And in just 30 days, his energy, confidence, and yes, morning strength had returned. No pills, no shame. Just understanding how the body works, and working with it gently, daily. 30 days later, the morning returns. By the 30th day, something had shifted in Harold, not just in his body, but in his spirit. I remember the way he described it. I woke up, and there it was. Without trying, without forcing, just natural. He was talking about something every man knows but few discuss openly: morning strength. That quiet but powerful signal from the body that says, "You're alive, you're vital, you're still in the game." But what really struck me wasn't the return of function, it was the return of confidence. The return of presence. He walked differently. He spoke with more certainty. That lingering doubt that had once clouded his mornings was gone. Here's what I want every man watching this to hear. These kinds of changes are not out of reach. You don't need to rely on a pill. You don't need to feel ashamed. What you need is a plan that works with your body, not against it. Harold didn't reverse time. He simply gave his body what it was quietly begging for: better blood flow, deeper sleep, and dopamine nourishment. The results? Restored drive, restored intimacy, restored identity. This isn't just about hormones or chemistry. It's about quality of life. And when a man feels like himself again in the morning, everything else starts to heal. That's the gift Harold gave himself. And it's one that's still available to every man willing to take that first small step. When Harold first came to me, he thought this chapter of his life was already written. He thought the spark was gone, that desire would never return, and that mornings would continue to feel empty. But 30 days later, he discovered something powerful: you're never too old to feel like yourself again. Not a younger version of yourself, not a fantasy, but the real you, the man who still exists beneath the fog of fatigue, low drive, and quiet frustration. I've worked with hundreds of men just like Harold. Men who were tired. Men who were embarrassed. Men who silently feared they were broken. But here's what I want you to know. You are not broken. You are not done. Your body hasn't given up on you, it just needs the right kind of support. Support that boosts dopamine naturally, that improves blood flow without side effects, that helps you sleep deeply, wake up energized, and rebuild your confidence one morning at a time. Harold took 3 simple steps: an evening circulation tea, daily morning walks, and a calming nighttime supplement, and rebuilt the connection between his brain, body, and sense of self. You can too. You don't need to make a huge change, just start small. Try the tea, take the walk, give your body permission to heal, and watch what happens when you stop fighting time and start working with it. Because morning strength isn't just about intimacy, it's about identity. And when that comes back, everything changes. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and I believe your best days can still begin at sunrise.